If you're looking for a portion-friendly portion blender that can keep things simple while still getting you great results, the Ninja Fit is definitely worth considering. This is one of the most affordable options out there, and it's perfectly fine for your routine shakes and smoothies. Sounds too good to be true? Let's check it out for yourself. I'm Tina, and welcome back to our Shouldit Blender Series. Alright, we're gonna start testing in a second, but first, if you want a quick breakdown of how we do this, check out our explainer how should it test personal blenders. It just makes the result easier to follow. And now, let's kick off with test number 1, the protein shake. Okay, this is a simple test. We mix protein powder, oats, almonds, dry blueberries, and milk, and we're done when the oats turn silky smooth. Normally with personal blenders, you end up shaking the cup or stopping halfway because the mix gets stuck above the blade. With this one, we didn't have to do any of that. Once we started blending, the blender just pulled everything down into the blade on its own, and it moved fast enough to keep things flowing. Plus, the motor stayed steady the whole time, and of all the blenders we tested, it was one of the quickest, finishing the job in about 50 seconds. The oats were completely smooth, and the almonds and berries were blended down really small. We found a few pieces in the strainer, but it wasn't much. Overall, the shake was thick, smooth, and definitely drinkable. If you often make protein shakes and you just want it to work without effort, this was a really satisfying performance. Protein shake, 9.6 out of 10. Okay, next up is the frozen fruit smoothie test. We use frozen blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and mango, plus honey, yogurt, and milk, and then we run until it's smooth. Once again, this blender did better than we thought. It blended fast, and it didn't take much effort to get going. We did have to stop once in a while and shake the cup to free a few chunks, but overall it felt easy. The smoothie was ready in about a minute. That's very fast compared to most blenders in this category, and faster blending gives you a better smoothie. The texture came out smooth and had an ice cream-like feel we enjoy. So if you want an icy smoothie without messing around, the Ninja Fit can absolutely do it. Frozen fruit smoothie, 10 out of 10. So before continuing with the rest of the review, we would like to be clear that this isn't a paid promotion. Every personal blender we test is self-funded to ensure unbiased evaluations and honest ratings. If you find this video helpful, a like and subscribe would be a huge support. And now we're on to the Fibrous Greens test. We run kale, spinach, and celery with water for 20 seconds, then strain it to see how smooth it is. Actually, leafy greens can be tricky because they like to float, stick to the cup, and avoid the blades. But here, this blender pulled them in fast and kept chopping without any signs of struggle. Plus, it sat firmly on the counter and didn't shake or slide while blending. So it brought out most of the greens without needing extra time. And after straining, we only had a little bit of puff left. Overall, this was one of the best greens performances we saw, especially considering how quick the test is. If you plan on mixing fibrous greens often, the Ninja Fit is clearly up to the job. Fibrous greens, 9.5 out of 10. Last up is the ice crushing test. We fill the cup with ice only and let it blend until the ice is as smooth as it can get. And in this test, the blender struggled quite a bit. It crushed most of the ice, but it couldn't get through all of it. By the end, about 20% of the ice was still solid. We also had to stop a few times and shake the cup to have the ice reach the blade. But for a small personal blender, it still did better than most. It was actually the only small cup blender we tested that got this close. On top of that, the texture was surprisingly fluffy, so while it's not perfect, you won't usually get big ice chunks in your drink. Ice crushing taste, 9 out of 10. So taking all 4 tests into account, this Ninja Fit portional blender achieved an overall performance rating of 9.6 out of 10. So far, the Ninja Fit is one of the best portional blenders we've used, and we would recommend it for anyone who wants straightforward blending with consistently strong performance without spending much. A small footprint, sporty design, and to-go cup also make it a great fit for gym goers or those with a busy active routine. Despite the low price, the results it produces are impressively good, and it feels more capable than you expect. You won't get premium materials here, but the blender feels durable enough for regular use. Plus, the user-friendly features will make it easy to live with. Overall, it's not likely a purchase you will regret. And that's it for our review of the Ninja Fit portional blender. You can find more details through the link in the description or explore other options in our Shouldit Blender series. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you catch our upcoming reviews. Thanks for watching Shouldit, and see you in the next video. Bye!